Alright guys, welcome to HRL Season 6. This is Grand Finals, round number 2, Moto 2 of Anaheim 1. Let's go through the gate order here. Competitors for the overall are Slaunch, Detail, and Luke, top 3 from last Moto. And I suppose 4th and 5th of Real Deal and Roman as well, but in Grand Finals it is hard to win an overall from 4th and 5th, even though that just happened in Rallycross, whatever. Inside gate, Real Deal again, opted for the inside gate. Roman, Slaunch, Opix, Camby, Phil, Vulcan, Luke, Detail, and Hunter. So a literal even gate this time. So a little bit different. Gate's about to drop. And we're green. A really nice start out of Slaunch, and that's definitely what he needed, but Real Deal's just going to slide it into the inside and basically just stole the whole shot away. But Phil is going to end up being the one out in front. So a really nice start for Phil. Plenty of issues back there in the first and second rhythm as well. Oh, Hunter and Slaunch really poor runs there through the tabletop rhythm. Many drivers in the back as well. Poor runs. Oh, the caseage. Roman clearing Detail and Real Deal. Absolute cheese there through the first couple of rhythms. That's what you expect in the beginning of this track, though. And these top 4 are going to have a nice race well, there's the cheese through the whoops for Luke as well. Must have been a case, though. I feel like if you cheese those whoops, the only way that can happen is if you case the jump before. Definitely was. I don't know if it was for Hunter, though. I'd have to watch it again. But you can tell this is going to be a nice race for these front 4 because they got such a ridiculously better start than the rest of the field. It's Phil currently in the lead. He's about to lead a lap here. Hunter in second, Slaunch in third, and Luke in fourth. So the battle for the overall is basically between Slaunch and Luke at this point because Hunter and Phil aren't high enough to really compete for that, and the other drivers that could compete for it are stuck really far behind already. So it's pretty much just going to be a salvage race for those drivers to see what they can do. You can see 5th place here is Camby, 6th is Detail, 7th is Real Deal, 8th is Roman, and 9th Opix, 10th Vulcan. Real Deal with some major lag there. It could have been Roman as well. I believe it was Real Deal. So some issues there. Slaunch now worked his way up to 2nd. Hunter trying to hold on to that podium spot. Some issues there for Real Deal. Roman trying to work his way around him. Gets a little Tomac in the whoops. Gonna lose that position there. Side by side battle here between Detail and Camby. Both gonna opt for the outside. Camby's following. I thought that was gonna screw them both up. That's really gonna mess up Camby there. Detail out into 5th. Not too bad, but gonna have to be a definite recovery here. And Phil and Slaunch are about to battle for the lead. And if I'm a betting man, I think Phil's going to lose. I'm surprised Phil hasn't lost this spot already, to be honest. He's probably going to lose it in this corner. Does a good job protecting the inside. Trying to hold him off the best that he can, but at this jump, that's probably going to be it. Phil opts for the outside, but it's a little too late. Just wasn't committed. He's getting a fat run, though. He's getting a fat run. What is Phil going to do? He's just going to follow in behind. I feel like Phil's only chance there to actually compete was if he took a different line. Go for the inside there. I probably would have. Do something. Switch something up to try to compete there. Luke's still in 4th. Hunter and Phil might have a switch up here actually. No. Looks like he's going to save it. Never mind. And problems for... Might have been problems for Detail here. I feel like he had more of a gap earlier on Camby, so... Another mistake there. Camby's making fat gains. Oh, no. Both of them go down. That is really unfortunate for Camby there and Detail as well, but especially Camby. That really sucked. Like I said, these top 4 are just going to be... I don't think anybody from the top... Even if Detail makes no mistakes from this point, just puts on a great run, I don't think it's going to happen. Like, these top 4 are just so separated. Slaunch out to the lead. And his biggest contender is definitely Luke, but he's got Phil and Hunter still in front of him. But like I said before, if I had to bet, I would say I think Phil is not going to hold on to this spot for too long. We'll see how it goes. Oh, there's a mistake. Recovers pretty well. Different lines. Hunter's going to have the better line. Phil gets a good exit. Hunter has a horrible exit. That was so close. If Luke landed on Hunter there, that could have been chances for the podium over. But must have picked a good line. Must have expected that and ends up avoiding it. Phil with a mistake on the finish jump there. Luke's going to go for a different line. This is going to get close between these three. Phil's going to protect the inside. Luke going far inside. So is Hunter. He's falling. He's trying to take advantage, get himself that podium spot back. Luke's going to opt for the inside line. Cheeses it a little bit there. Runs it well enough to stay in front of Hunter, but loses quite a bit of time on Phil. That just shows why you got to practice all lines when you're practicing if you want to win, because you never know when you're going to have to take a line that you don't normally take. Ooh, Luke with a rough run through the rhythm there. He's going to have to opt to take this opposite line. And Phil's making a mistake in front of him. This could be really bad. And that's just unfortunate for Phil there, because he makes a mistake early in the rhythm in front of Luke, and Luke ends up bumping him out of it because of the fact that he made a mistake. And Luke has a fat run through the whoops. Not enough. But like I said, that's just... Oh, Hunter cases the finish jump 3 wide? What is this battle? This is honestly like the best battle all grand finals. What the heck? You know, it looks like Luke's going to hold on to second, but Phil is holding on to third still. Yeah, like I was saying before, though, that really came down to Phil just screwing up the rhythm beforehand, because Phil screws up that rhythm, loses a ton of time off of that. And that really forces, because you don't want to bump the driver out when they're rolling in front of you, but when you've already screwed up the rhythm, there's not much you could do there. You can't even tell if Phil's going to recover at that point. Yeah, Phil, bad run on the outside there. Just going off his... I think he decided to do something different right there off of what he was normally running. Just has a poor run. He's going to lose that podium spot to Hunter. Detail making a mistake too. What an unfortunate recovery right there. That was so bad. Real Deal's probably going to get around him here. Screws up again. This is going to have to be a salvage race for Detail. That was such an unfortunate mistake. That cost him so much time and 2 positions right there as well. So a very good start to the Grand Finals in the Rallycross. But if he's going to want to, I mean, he's got his own track coming up as the last race, and it is GP as well. So that's looking good for him. But he's got to, I would say, at least a top 5 here, preferably a 4th place if he wants to be looking really good going into the final race here. Definitely going to be a salvage one, but he's got Real Deal and Roman in front of him by not too much, and those 2 drivers finished behind him last race. So we'll see how this plays out. Let's look at the gap here between Slaunch and Luke and see how this goes. Because last race, Slaunch just stretched it out. Once he hits the line, Luke's in about like the 5th whoop or so right there. So we'll see how that gap maintains if Luke actually has something left in the tank this time around. Hunter. Honestly, Hunter could play a role in this as well. I'm actually really impressed with Hunter's performance. How did he do in the first moto again? He's having a really good second moto here. First moto he ran 11th, and that's not too bad for him either. Honestly, like that's a pretty good finish out of Hunter on the Supercross. Also, I do remember this, that him, Roman and Real Deal were like all in a line, and honestly that 4th, 5th, and 6th could have went to anybody. Slaunch with a little bit of a slow exit there. So a slight mistake, but if you're going to make a mistake, that's probably the area to make it. Roman and Real Deal having a great battle right there for 4th. Right? No, for 5th and 6th. Wow, Phil still holding on to 4th. Honestly, I'm surprised. This is a great battle. Real Deal and Roman. Opposite lines. Roman screws up the faster line, and obviously it's not going to be that much faster if you're messing it up, so gonna lose time there. Real Deal gonna take that spot back, and they're closing in on Phil. I think all 3 of these guys closing in on Phil. So Phil's starting to, I think Phil's starting to lose his momentum here, and he's got to try to get things together, because if he doesn't, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be really bad for him. He's got a ton of hungry sharks that are, I would say, faster than him coming up very quickly. And Saunch cheeses the first rhythm, and this could be it for the lead. Tries to get a nice recovery. Wasn't too bad. So definitely still in this race. Oh, the table rhythm, though. That's the bad part of the recovery for sure. So let's look at the gap at the line. Definitely a workable gap. That's not too bad. And we've still got 16:20. Still got a few laps here to go. I would say probably about 4 laps to go off the top of my head. Maybe 3. So not too much time left in the race. But we still have plenty of battles going down on track. Detail just overtook Roman. And this is big points right here. Real Deal overtook Phil. So Phil must have screwed up that same lap as well. Detail and Roman really close. Roman with a really nice run right there. Gonna opt for the inside. And the inside's gonna work that time. See Detail with the fat momentum though, but it's just not enough. These guys are really close though. And Phil has got to be worried. There's a little bit of a wheelie right there. Oh, another mistake on the inside rhythm, and that's probably, oh man, he might lose both of these spots. He's gonna stay in front of Roman for now, but he's definitely gonna lose that spot to Detail. So Detail has salvaged his way into top 5. Hunter's still doing a great job holding onto that podium spot. And Phil and Roman, Phil doing everything he can here, casing the jump for both of them. Literally doing everything he can here. I should probably be checking the time. Oh crap, let's go back. Let's see how many laps remain. This is important. This is important for sure. Oh, this is gonna be close. It's gonna be really close. 16:20, 16:30. I believe that, or 16:20 was the time actually, so it wasn't that close. My bad. I thought it was 16:30. So that's 2 laps to go there. So that, I feel like this race went by so fast. What the cheese? Hold on. No, it's actually about done. Wow, I feel like this went by so fast. So the race is coming to a close here. Only 2 laps remaining. Let's keep an eye on that Phil and Roman battle. See if Phil can hold him off. I don't know if he can. Roman aggressive to the inside. Phil a little rough. Roman's getting affected by that as well. Roman really made that inside work before. Oh, nice. I like the play. Roman's going to go inside to outside. Phil's got more momentum, though, for sure. But not going to matter. Roman overtakes Phil. So Phil has gone back to 7th now. This is very unfortunate. After that pretty good rallycross performance, I was thinking, wow, he might actually have a pretty nice grand finals, but Supercross, easily his weakness. He needs to start improving on it. And I believe while we were caught up with that, we just hit white flag. So we're on the last lap here. And yeah, that's definitely the weakness for Phil. Not, if you have like one track or one type of track that you're like, oh yeah, I'm not even going to finish top 5 on that in the grand finals, then you're screwed. That's pretty much what it comes down to. You need to be top 5 level on all tracks if you're going to win. That's what it comes down to for sure. So coming around here for the final time, it's pretty much all going to come down to clean runs. And if Luke can get through the table rhythm cleanly, then it's pretty much over. Gets through the table rhythm cleanly, so I think it's fair enough to call the race there, unless the whoops just pop a fat Tomac. Coming to the line here, inside to protect it. That's the race. Luke's going to take his 2nd Moto win of the grand finals. Sanch still going to take the overall in the 2nd place here, the 1-point margin. Hunter going to take 3rd. A very good performance out of Hunter on the Supercross. And Detail really closed the gap there, but not quite able to do it. Real Deal 4th, Detail 5th. And man, Phil fell off of Roman. Roman's going to take 7th. Not a pretty grand finals for Roman here. Phil, definitely frustrated. And Vulcan as well. What is wrong with Vulcan? He is horrible at this track. Predicted you, man. You're supposed to be better. Come on, dude. Armada is Jesus, apparently. But anyways, let's get to the... Oh, that's a pretty dope shot. Kind of works out. Let's get to the docs here. So at the result, or after the results of the second race, as you can see, it's going to be a really close points battle going into formal. So after this race, it's pretty much between these three, Luke, Solange, and Detail. Real Deal is 51 points, which is 10 points off of Luke, 6 points off of Detail, 9 off of Solange. I just don't think it's... Real Deal would have to put in an amazing performance, and these three would have to choke super hard, which I just don't see happening on a GP. For all of them to choke that bad, I could see Real Deal having a really good performance, but I just don't see that happening. So Real Deal, I think it's kind of safe to say, is kind of... I think he's out of the battle here. He needed to podium on the RX. If he podiumed on the RX, he would actually be in a pretty good position here, I would think. But pretty much out of it here. So it's going to be between these three. Luke with a 1-point gap over Solange and with a 4-point gap over Detail. So it's going to be really close here going into the final race. And then you have Real Deal, who's kind of in a league of his own right here. He's got a bit of a cushion on Detail, a bit of a cushion on Hunter. And then Hunter, Roman, Phil, and Vulcan. Very close. Look at this, 5 points separating these guys. So we're, it's always about the top battle. These other positions are up for grabs too. And then Opix and Camby, they're pretty much going to be battling their own race for the last 2 spots. I don't think they're going to be able to compete for these spots at this point. So lot of points positions up for grabs still going into formal. So see you there.